Hi guys, good morning. Today is Wednesday. It's almost 10 o'clock. It may be 10 already. I wanted to come on here again and just update you guys on mom. Monday morning, about 3:45 in the morning, mom started crying. She was kind of moaning. I have a baby monitor. So I go in the room and she's sitting on the side of the bed and she's holding her head saying her head is hurting. My mom never have headaches, but okay. I figure on my last video, I think I mentioned that she had dialysis last Monday, and they brought her out in a wheelchair. And so she's not been able to go to dialysis because she can't walk. So she said that her head was hurting. And the first thing I thought about is, oh my God, she haven't had dialysis. And a lot of times when she don't have dialysis, even if she miss a day, everything in her body starts to act up. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is what's going on. So I give her a Tylenol because she had not had any of her medicine, like her medicine that she takes every day, in probably 3 or 4 days because she wasn't eating. So I figured give it a Tylenol because that was one of the things the doctor always said she could take, and let it work and see what happens. This was about 3:45, 4 o'clock. She called me again. I get up out the bed. Oh, my head is hurting. Can you tell the doctor to give me some medicine? I said, Mom, you're not at a hospital. You're in the room. And I just gave you a pill about 15 minutes ago. She said, my head is, no. Can you give me the stuff in the liquid? She said to give me the stuff in the bottle. And I was like, huh? She pointed to the dresser with something on the dresser. And I was like, that's not medicine. She said, I need some liquid medicine. I said, I just gave you a pill. Give it time to work, We did this for about an hour. And I come back in my room and I said, well, let me call the people. Let me call the ambulance because my mama never has, she rarely complains about a headache. Call the ambulance. 2 guys come out. One guy was God sent. The other guy was an asshole because my mother was living upstairs. The rooms are upstairs. And one guy comes in and says, ma'am, how you going to get her downstairs? And I look at him like, bitch, you the man, you supposed to know how. And I've just told y'all she's not been walking. So however you get her down, what you mean, ma'am, how you going to get her down? Anyway. The other guy was so sweet. You could tell that he had, his parents dealt with the same thing, but he was so patient with my mom. We got her downstairs and we told him all of the things that was going on with her. He said, was talking to her, just trying to keep her engaged a little bit. She had her eyes closed, but she was still saying her head was hurting. They take her on and I wait, go back to bed, go back to the house and just trying to, rest a little bit before I go to the hospital. The doctor calls probably about 9 o'clock and says that mom was having seizure-like headaches. And he asked me, had she ever had seizures? I said, no, my mom has never had seizures. He said, well, I understand that you are trying to move from palliative care to hospice because of her situation. And I told him, I said, yes, I was planning on doing it this week. I said, but it seemed like I'm kind of forced to because I didn't want, we had talked about putting her on hospice because of the situation, her situation. So he said, okay, well, I'll go ahead and start the process. He said, but you may want to come up and see her. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I get dressed and me and the girls go up and Mama is not here. She was out of it. She was out of it. And if anybody knows my oldest daughter, she will cry at the drop of a hat. And she walked in and kind of lost it. And I told her to go out and go and get my other daughter. And she came in. But we didn't stay long because, you don't want to. I don't want that to be the last time I see my mom and then to see my mom like that. So she wasn't looking good. And we decided we're going to go ahead and send her to hospice. So the young man that I've been working with, he is such a sweetheart. He had been calling all day Monday, just kind of keeping me posted, told me on Tuesday, the people would come and get her, told me what time they would come and get her. And even the people at the hospital were really nice. Memorial Herman, they were really nice. They called yesterday when they were, once the ambulance came to transfer her to the hospice facility, they called, gave me all of the information. Everybody was really nice. And I ended up calling the hospital yesterday, kind of early yesterday, right? Well, no, I didn't call. They called me to ask me what was the name of the company that was coming to get her. And I told them and gave them all the information. And I asked the young lady, I said, I don't know if this is a dumb question. I said, but is she up? And she said, well, I haven't went in the room to look at her yet. She said, but I'll go check on you. And she said, I'll go check for you. I said, cool. So we finished doing the business part, and she came to the phone and she said, let me go and check and see. And she came back and she said, well, her eyes are closed, so I don't think she's up. And I said, okay. She said, but what you can do is call and speak to the nurse at the station. I said, I'll do that. So I hang up with her and I called the nurse's station. And I told the young man, I said, I don't really know if this is a dumb question to ask. I said, but my mom is, headed to hospice, and yesterday she was out of, and I just want to know if she's up. I felt like that was a dumb question. He said, no, it's not a dumb question. He said, let me go and check and see. So he comes back to the phone and he said, ma'am, no, I'm sorry. And I don't know what that I'm sorry meant. I'm sorry that she's not up, or I'm sorry that you're having to go through this, but the reality is beginning to sink in. And so it's like, okay, so we did that all day yesterday. And then this morning about 1:30, the nurse calls and says that he was there with my mom and he was talking to my mom, but she is in a comatose state. And he said that she's passing slowly. So for all of you guys that have been praying for my mom and praying for me, keep us lifted. I don't know what today is going to bring. I'm going to go up there in a couple of hours. And let me tell you what's crazy. The nurse called me about an hour ago and said that my sister had called up there trying to find out information about my mom. This is not the time. You dropped mama off on the 14th. You took the remainder of her money on the 16th. You blocked her. You took her phone. You blocked all of us. Please, I beg of you, don't start doing shit. Don't do this, because I'm not gonna let this. I'm not gonna let this rest. Let my mama rest. When she decides that she want to give up the ghost, let it go. But the fact that you're calling and trying to come to the hospital, to the hospice place and want information, you were the same person that sent the message and said you didn't want to have anything to do with her. You sent it to all of her doctors, so they know. They immediately called me this morning after you called them. Don't do that. I'm asking you, don't do that. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off and I'll keep y'all posted. You better make sure you got the right people around you, because when you make decisions based on emotions, you end up in a whole bunch of shit that ain't going to end well for you. So now your mom is dying and you got the nerve to now want to come and do whatever you're trying to do. You hadn't been interested when you dropped her off. You haven't been interested in a whole month. You haven't called and checked on her. You got everybody blocked. So please, I'm not saying for you not to come to the funeral. I'm not saying that you can do whatever you want, but all of this intimate stuff you're trying to do with her, leave her alone. You leave her alone. You're not coming to hospice. You don't get the opportunity to do that after you put her out and haven't called her in a whole month. Your 81-year-old mama. Don't do that. Don't start this. Don't start this. So I'll keep y'all posted. Y'all say a prayer for me that I'll keep my head leveled and I won't end up in jail for acting off of my emotions. But I have people around me that keep me together. So I'm not going to do that. So that's the update on my mom. And I will keep y'all posted if something different happens. All right. Y'all take care of each other and be kind. Bye.